Now let's start Chapter 1 of the Massachusetts Amendments to the International Building Code 2009. Chapter 1, Scope and Administration. The first section is replaces as follows. The Board of Building Regulations and Standards adopts and incorporates by reference the International Building Code edition, including appendices A through J. The International Building Code, together with modifications as set forth, shall collectively comprise the Massachusetts State Building Code, 8th edition, base volume, and referred to as this code. So the Massachusetts State Building Code 780 actually mean the amendments and the International Building Code comprised together. Section 2, Appendix AA and Special Regulation. The Board of Building Regulations and Standards also adopts and incorporates by reference the International Energy Conservation Code 2009 edition of the International Energy Conservation Code, with modifications as Appendix AA. The special regulations unique to Massachusetts are found in 780 CMR 110 R1 through R7. Revised Section 1.2 revised to read as follows. Scope. This code shall be the building code for all towns, cities, state agencies, or authorities in accordance with the Massachusetts General Law 143, Section 94. The provisions of this code and other reference specialized codes shall apply to the construction, alteration, movement, enlargement, replacement, repair, equipment use, and occupancy, location, maintenance, removal, and demolition of every building or structure or any appurtenances connected to or attached to such building or structures. That means all work. Exception. Detached 1- and 2-family dwellings and multiple single-family dwellings, example townhouse, not more than 3 stories above grade plane in height, with a separate means of egress and accessory structures, and residences with 5 or fewer occupants that are operated or licensed by the Massachusetts Department of Developmental Services shall comply with 780 CMR 1 and 2 family dwellings. So this exception applied to 1 or 2 family houses or townhouse of less than 5 units operated and licensed by the Departments of Developmental Services. This they have to follow the 1 and 2 family dwellings codes. So one section is deleted. Section 1.4 replaced as follows. Reference codes include the specialized codes of Massachusetts general laws and other codes and regulations listed from 1.41 to 1.412 and shall be considered part of this code to describe the extent of each such reference. Note 1. Work regulated by the specialized codes shall be designed, installed, and inspected by individuals authorized to do so in accordance with the specialized codes. However, the impact of work regulated by the specialized codes and other codes and regulations on work governed by this code shall be subject to inspections by building officials. In another word, specialized work that are related to this code and governed by this code will be subject to inspection by a building official. Note 2. Work regulated by the Architectural Access Board regulations shall be enforced by building official. The design and construction requirements of bunkers and magazines for the storage of explosive materials, flammable, combustible liquids, and chemical process safety shall default to the specific requirements of 527 CMR and are not enforced by the building official but rather by the head of the fire department or his or her designee. So anything that is flammable, that means is fire hazard, combustible, then is regulated by the fire department. So it is up to the fire department to decide on those matters. Work regulated by the Board of Sheet Metal Regulation shall be enforced by the building official. So sheet metal, Architectural Access Board, and some specialized code fall into the building code enforcement. Revised 1.41. Gas and fossil fuel burning appliances. Gas-fired appliances are governed by the Board of State Examiners of Plumber and Gas Fitters. Oil fire appliances are governed by the Board of Fire Prevention Regulations. Oil burning equipment. So, gas filters. This is so confusing, so let's copy over here for easy review later on. Okay. Let's go down. Section 1.43, plumbing. Okay. For sewage disposal or water connection, see 310 CMR 1500 for more information. The State Environmental Code Title 5 standard requirements for the sitting, construction, inspection, upgrades, and expansion of the on-site sewage treatment and disposal system, and for the transport and disposal of sewage. And 314 CMR 3 surface water discharge permit program, 5 groundwater discharge permit program, and 20 reclaimed water permit program and standards. So these are just references to the CMR. 1.45 fire prevention. Fire prevention issues shall be considered reference to the Board of Fire Regulations. So, fire prevention issue, if 527 CMR does not address an issue covered by the International Fire Code or Mechanical Code, then that said reference code shall apply. If a conflict regarding fire prevention requirement exists between 527 CMR and 780 CMR, the more stringent standard shall apply. So if two codes are in conflict, take the one that is more difficult to do, really. Building code requirements in the International Fire Prevention Code and Fire Mechanical Code are made part of 780 CMR and are enforceable by the building official. Well, we know that. Repeat. The provisions of the International Energy Conservation Code with Massachusetts amendments will apply to all matters governing the design and construction of buildings for energy efficiency. Yeah, this could be one of the test questions. So this is about energy efficiency. Architectural access. The Architectural Access Board regulation at 521 CMR and environmental protection. The Department of Environmental Protection regulations are at 310 CMR, and the Division Water Pollution Control regulations are at 314. So these are just references. Reference to the International Electrical Code shall be considered reference to 527 Massachusetts Electrical Code. So all these two codes are the same. Add subsection. Ductwork and sheet metal. See the Board of Examiners of Sheet Metal Workers regulation at 271 CMR. International Residential Code shall be considered reference to the 780 CMR 51 through 121 and 2 family dwellings. So just follow the International Residential Code. Add subsection. Board of Building Regulations and Standards Advisory Committees. Organizations and duties of technical advisory committees to the BBRS may be viewed on the Department of Public Safety website. Other laws. The provisions of this code shall not nullify or cancel out any provision of state or federal law. Massachusetts general laws and the Code of Massachusetts regulations are, so CMR meaning the Code of Massachusetts regulations, are often referenced in this code. It is the code user's responsibility to determine all applicable laws and regulations relevant or important to section in this code. Rare facilities licensed or operated by Massachusetts agencies often have CMRs with building requirements beyond this code for buildings licensed or operated by the respective agency. So for agencies, there are other codes that they have to follow. Add subsection. DDS facilities. Additional buildings features required by the Massachusetts Department of Developmental Services do not change the classification of residences operated or licensed by DDS as dwellings subject to 781 and 2 family dwellings. Municipal bylaws or ordinances. When provisions of this code conflict with municipal bylaws and ordinances, this code shall govern unless the bylaws or ordinances were promulgated in accordance with the Massachusetts general laws. That means this code is more important than some of the local ordinances or bylaws or city laws. Existing structures. The legal occupancy of any existing on the date of adoption of this code shall be permitted to continue without change except as is specifically covered in this code or as deemed necessary by the building official for the general safety and welfare of the public. So this is one of the law. Let's drop it over here. Unless specifically provide otherwise in this code and narrow to the provisions of this code, any existing building or structure shall meet and shall be presumed to meet the provisions of the applicable laws, codes, rules, or regulations, bylaws, or ordinances in effect at the time such building or structure was constructed or altered, and shall be allowed to continue to be occupied pursuant to its use and occupancy, provided that the building or structure shall be maintained by the owner in accordance with this code. So in order to maintain a code, everything should be maintained. The building should be maintained, or it may be required to be changed to a new code. This is lengthy. 15 minutes gone to waste.